I mean, everybody knows me. I'm Krisha from the Reach. I'll tell you some of the big things that we're doing here in this area. And then Barb's going to be our presenter. But so I know everybody else has heard me. Chris probably hadn't. I don't know, Barb. I don't know what Heather and Amber have told you, but we were received an Appalachian Regional Commission Inspire grant.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we are taking the navigator program that we already do. So the people with lived experience that have the training. And we will be able to hire some more navigators and pay them this time instead of it just being a volunteer. And so that is our whole goal, is to prove that the validity of this, that it's just as effective and just as needed as a PRSS or anything like that, and to see how can that be sustainable and make us as the Reach sustainable and not be completely grant driven, but to be able to have those navigators walk alongside people for the next 2 years as a paid position, and then work with people in reentry and recovery to get them employed. So
that's fantastic.
Yep. So we're doing Lincoln, Logan, Mingo, Boone, Kanawha, Jackson. I don't know. I'm looking at my map. I'm trying to remember what's what, but so we're focusing on that area. And then we also have a Claude Worthington Benedum grant that pairs the navigator with a community health worker. So those will come from the community health worker will come from Coalfield Health, and they will help determine those social determinants of health and get them mental health, physical health, treatment, whatever it is they need, because as they're coming out of incarceration, they've never been able to self-advocate for medical care and get to be proactive in their health care. And as they come out, how do I manage my chronic disease of diabetes and high blood pressure and all of those things? So that healthcare worker will work with them alongside one of the navigators so that they have the dual support system. So again, that's Lincoln, Logan, Mingo, Boone. Again, I need to get out a map to see where they overlap and intersect, because we have so many grants that are overlap counties, but then this one picked up this one and this one picked up this one. So but that's the big things that we're doing in this area. So Amber will be the lead navigator for both of those programs. Heather is already one of our navigators, so she'll still keep doing what she's doing. She'll be funded out of a different pot of money than we have been in the past, and we'll get to hire a couple more. So we've got some interviews scheduled, and I know they're looking for a community health worker. So if anybody knows of anybody with healthcare experience, talk to Amber about how to apply. So, but other than that, trying to think about the things. The restorative justice week is coming up, so there's not a circle in your area because Heather and I are the trained circle leaders, but we have our annual strategic planning meeting the 2 days that the circles are, so there's not any in your area. Sorry. And then the Leading for Justice Summit is in Charleston in January, so they'll be opening up registration for that anytime. That's all I've got, so I we'll pass it around if anybody thinks got anything going on, and go on to the next, and then Barb will save you for last, and you can tell us about what you did last month. I was gonna call on Chris, but he looks like he's working, so.
What are we doing?
Who are you and what have you got going
on? I'm Chris Baker. I work for the Recovery Group of Southern West Virginia, and I run our Logan Recovery Community Center. It's been pretty busy. We partnered with the Logan QRT for the Narcan vending machine about a month and a half ago. And it has been a huge success. So that's about all I got.
All right. Leah, I'll pass it over to you and you can pass it on to whoever.
All right. My name is Aaliyah Tanner. I work for Disability Rights of West Virginia. I am the CAP and PABS advocate. Those are the two programs I work. CAP is the Client Assistance Program, which is focused on Division of Rehab Services and making sure that rehab services does what they are supposed to be doing. PABS is for beneficiaries of Social Security. It is tied in with the Ticket to Work program, which is a Social Security program that helps people gradually get off of Social Security benefits and into employment. You know, it used to be, it was a hard cutoff. Once you made over this X amount, even if it was just 1 penny over, you were just cut off benefits. And if something happened, you had to go back to the beginning and start all over again with your reapplication process. But with the Ticket to Work, it's a gradual cutoff. It makes it a lot easier for people to be able to know if they can work full time. I mean, some people, you know, only can work part time, so that they don't have to worry so much about losing their benefits if they do want to work as much as they possibly can. But disability rights in general, we are a protection advocacy group for people with disabilities. We are federally mandated. Every state has us. We do monitorings of group homes, jails, prisons, hospitals, nursing homes, you name it. We also have a voting access program to ensure that the polls are accessible. And this is election year, so that is a program that is really busy right now. Gravel parking lots are not accessible parking lots. So if you guys in your counties see polls on election day that are not accessible, give us a call. And then what we do is we actually work with the county to either make the site accessible on election day or move it to another site that is. I put our contact information as well as our website in the chat. I recommend anybody going to that website because we have loads of self-advocacy resources, and we have template letters that parents can use to when they have to write that strongly worded letter to the school because the school wasn't following the IEP. I mean, all kinds of stuff. As far as stuff coming up, I'm in talks actually with the Restorative Justice for Upshur County to maybe see if I can get a table there. And then a lot of trunk or treat events. So I need to go buy stock in Hershey because I'm going to be buying a lot of chocolate to be giving away these things. And that's about all we have going on, at least for the next little while. There's a conference I'm going to in Glade Springs, but that's for children. So I guess I'll pass it off to Philip.
Hello, I'm Philip Michael. I'm with the Workforce West Virginia program called PROUD. We received a grant from the federal government to be able to help incarcerated individuals that are coming out of incarceration into halfway houses, etc., to find them good paying positions and jobs. And I have a counterpart in the northern part of state, Wesley, and I'm in the southern part of the state, and we're getting ready to hire a new person in the next 2 months to help us to get into the halfway houses to make some contacts. We try to help individuals with either getting a position or training them or whatever it might be, to have community partners to hire people and give them a second chance. I think Christian may have put our information there in the chat, and I'm always available to answer any questions, and appreciate you allowing me to be a part of this. Thank you. And I will call on Seth.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Seth Hansen with Groups Recover Together. I'm the Partnership Development Manager for West Virginia. We're an outpatient opioid use disorder treatment program across West Virginia. I'll actually be down that way for the ORN Summit in a couple of weeks. I'll probably see some of you there. So, and I will call on Jen.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jen. I am the outreach coordinator for Northwood Health Systems Crisis Units. We are located in the Northern Panhandle. We have 2 locations. We have one in Wheeling and one in Weirton. We have 16 beds at each facility, and we can assist with detox and also acute psychiatric signs and symptoms. We take males and females 18 and older, and we are a brief stay, about 5 to 7 days. Our goal was to get them stabilized and then send them either to a longer term rehab or outpatient services. So thank you very much. And I think I was the last one.
I think so. So Ms. Barbellis, I turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. I wasn't really ready for this. Got a call from Heather just a couple hours ago and asked me if I would do this. But I'm so happy to be here and so pleased to be talking about what they asked me to talk about today. I'll tell you that I'm Barb Ellis. I'm a PRSS with Mountain Laurel Integrated Healthcare here in Logan. Let me quickly tell you just a little bit about Mountain Laurel. Give you our updates, and then we'll talk about the recovery walk. We are a federally qualified lookalike, and we are applying to be federally qualified. We've submitted. We're waiting to hear. They only choose. I've heard 70 across the nation. So we're hopeful, but waiting to see. But we have a range of services. We have primary care. We have the mental health that we've always had. We have substance abuse. We have a crisis unit, a stabilization unit. We have a 28-day treatment center for men, 28-day treatment center for women. We have our own pharmacy. We have our own lab inside the building. We have a dentist. We have a chiropractor, and we're ever growing. Our motto is Mountain Laurel Integrated Healthcare, where change begins. And our CEO jokes that it's where change never stops. So we're growing all the time, and the updates I would give you is that, again, that we've applied for the federal qualified. We're looking for a dentist. If anybody knows of a dentist, we're looking for a dentist. We have one in Logan. Dr. Alan Vance is our dentist in Logan, but we're looking to put in the same type of modern state-of-the-art dentist in our Mingo County, in Chatteroy, in our Chatteroy office. So we're looking for that, hoping to get that pretty soon. So that right now we're giving people transportation from Mingo County to us, but we're hoping to get a dentist into their area. We got an amazing outreach guy. A lot of people in Logan know Jason Aggins. He's been with us a couple of months now, and we've got the big bus out back out on the road again. We're back in the parades. We're into the events going on around our county and everything. So look for the big Mountain Laurel bus and mobile bus, and tell Jason hi if you see him out there. What they asked me actually to come on and talk about today is I kind of thought that pretty much everybody in the call today maybe was involved and knew about it, but I see faces I don't know. So let me tell you that 2 years ago, this is the 3rd year, I got together with Heather Gregory and Amber Blankenship and a lady named Deb Davis. She's with One Voice over in Oceana, and a lot of people know her. She's got a great program over there, and she shared with us that she had done a recovery walk in downtown Oceana. And as she was telling us about it, it was on a Zoom meeting. As she was telling us about it, it just gripped my heart. I couldn't get away from it. Couldn't think about anything else. But she talked about that they started on one side of Oceana, and they prayed, and they took off walking with just a handful of people. And by the time they got to the other side of Oceana, they'd picked up 20-some people or better with them, and just gripped my heart. Couldn't get away from it. So a day or two after that, I got a hold of Amber and Heather. Said, I'd like to do that in Logan. What do you guys think? And they said, we're with you. And the first year was amazing. It was unbelievable how everything came together. For the first time, well, actually, it was the second time. For the second time in Logan, we put agency titles aside. It wasn't about agencies. It wasn't about my program or your program. It was about what was good for our county and for the recovery community of our county. And we brought together all different resources on a little lot at the end of town in Logan. And at 7 o'clock that night, we put close to around 70 some people on the street in Logan and walking in recovery. And we were so happy with that, and it was just amazing. So last year we of course did it again, and last year it was just as good. Probably close to the same amount of people, number of people that walked with us, and again, it was just it was an amazing night for everybody. And since that first walk, yeah, we've watched Logan County change. We've watched a change come to our county, and it's not just on that night that we're seeing the networking and the people coming together and the agencies coming together, but we're doing it as a whole now. And I just think that that's amazing and stuff. So this year we got ready to plan for this year, and lo and behold, they changed the date on us. And now it's a permanent date because next year we do this on Save a Life Day. And Save a Life Day is something that's been happening for a few years on the eastern side of our nation. We had the first year 13 different states. Last year we had this year we had 30 states, but next year it's going nationwide. And so they decided to set a date, a permanent date. It's going to be the last Thursday in September every year from this going forward. And that happens to coincide with one of the big events in Logan County, which is our Apple Butter Festival that we have in Chapmanville. And so our Save a Life Day recovery walk was going to be on the same night that they opened up. And I didn't want to be in competition with them because I knew that it take a big bite out of our event and everything. And so we called up the mayor, Joel McNeely, and Sally Stalling, who is the town recorder, and she's the she's the town clerk and the director of the Apple Butter Festival. And we said, hey, how about if we come and join the Apple Butter Festival? If we bring the recovery walk to Chapmanville to the Apple Butter Festival, and they were on board from day one. Heather Greg and Sally said, come and meet with me. So Heather Gregory and I went and met with her, and everything we asked for, she gave us, and then asked, is there anything else that you need? And they were just so accommodating. It was amazing how well they worked with us. Every spot that we had, she gave me applications for everybody, all the different groups that were going to be involved with us. And everybody who was involved with us got a free spot. They didn't have to pay for their spot at the Apple Butter Festival. And that's a pretty big deal because they charge for those. That's how they put on such a big, huge thing. They charge for the spots when vendors come and things like that. They gave us ours free for that night. And she gave us some choice properties, a great place right by the stage to do it. Every year we light up bags and we put names on it in memory of people that lost their struggle to this disease. And we like to remember them and not forget them. And so every year we have bags that people give us names of their family members and whatever. We put a name on a bag, we light a candle in it, and we remember them. This year, for the past 2 years, we put them on the streets of Logan. And honestly, when we walked at 7, it was time to take everything down. We had to clean the streets up. And so we never really got to light those candles, but they were there. This year, she gave us choice spot at the stage. All of our bags were across the stage, in front of the stage, wrapped around the stage. And since the Apple Butter Festival is an event that goes from 5 o'clock in the evening till 10 o'clock at night, we finally got to light the candles on their bags stuff and really get to show those off. And that was so good. And they gave us a route to walk, and the only negative feedback that we had for the past 2 years for our recovery walk was that at 7 o'clock in the evening in downtown Logan, there's really nobody on the street to watch us walk, and to be involved in it. So that was something that changed this year, because at the Apple Butter Festival there were plenty of people to see that. And the biggest thing that came from this year was that, as I said earlier, past 2 years, about the highest number that we had to walk with us was 79, which was amazing and good. But this year we had 157 people walk with us in recovery at the Apple Butter Festival, and we went. We completely just kind of boxed the whole event in. They allowed us to go down the back street, then cross over up to the main street in Chapmanville. And we were allowed to walk down Main Street back down to where all of our tents were and everything. So it was very visible. The other exciting thing that happened this year that blew me away was I still don't know how she found out, but I know now why she did what she did. But Mrs. West Virginia, her name is Summer Hill. She was born and raised in Man, West Virginia. She lives now in Boone County. She has a PhD and is a physical therapist. She found out about our event and she reached out on our Facebook page, Mountain Laurel, and asked if she could come and be involved. And we told her absolutely we would love for her to do that. So she came that night. We got her up on the stage, found out why she wanted to do this. And we found out that she came from a home of addiction. And she said that when she told me later talking to her that when she ran for Mrs. West Virginia, it wasn't for the beauty contest. She ran for a platform, and she's using that platform to try to reach out to kids and tell children that you can rise above in whatever circumstance you are. You don't have to fall prey to that. And so we were so thrilled to have her. She went up on stage, gave us her story, and she actually introduced our walk. She walked with us. She hung around and took pictures with everybody and got to meet everybody. And she was just amazing. We loved having her. And she's asked to be involved in any other events that we have. She said that she has her sash till March, but she said even after that, she would love to stay involved in everything. And so we appreciated that. So all in all, it was an amazing night. The only thing that was bad, and Chris can tell you, it poured the rain. But the funny thing about it was all day long that day, my workplace has a prayer chain. It's on a Teams thing chat that we have and everything. And I had gone on that chat that day and I told them, I said, it's obvious it's going to rain today. So I'm not going to ask you to pray that it don't rain. I'm going to ask you to pray for a window for our walk tonight that we'll be able to do the walk and everything. Honestly, didn't know how many people would show up. It was a little cool that night because of the rain and everything. But they showed up big time. And it about, we were going to walk at 7, and right about 15 to 7, the rain stopped. and we got to walk in without the rain and everything. And like I said, so many showed up. And then probably about a half hour after the rain, here it came again. And everybody was taking down tents and moving in pouring rain. So everybody told me next year, if there's a chance of rain, pray for a wider window. But it didn't dampen anything. Everybody's spirits were high. Everybody was so happy to be there, and it was a complete success. We're so excited. It's going every year. We're going to end up on the first night of Apple Butter Festival, and they've asked us to come back every year now. And so we're excited for next year. And that's about all I can tell you about it.
Well, thank you for all that you do for the walk and everything you do for Logan and the community and everything. I'm sure it's probably hard to do all that walking and smell the apple butter cooking and going, all right, what's waiting for me at the end? But I've only met you once in person, but you know, you have the most energy and are like one of the most positive people I've ever met. And you are, um, your passion for these things is just infectious. And thank you for all that you do and for all that you are.
It wasn't just the apple butter festival. I mean, the apple butter that night, my church showed up with me, and our assistant pastor owns the Tudors in Logan and Chapmanville. So his wife brought Tudors barbecues, and they were given out. They just gave them out to feed anybody that was hungry or anybody that wanted one and everything. So yeah, there were all kinds of good things down there.
That's pretty awesome. So, and I've said this, you know, that, you know, I'm on the Kentucky side and we do not have anything for Recovery Day. There's nothing right here in my region. So I don't see any walks or anything going on to celebrate those in recovery. So I'm glad that you guys do over on the West Virginia side. And, you know, one of these days I'll get to come over to somebody's event. But
Logan County's really making some major strides. I mean, and you know, I'm not saying Lord knows that we've got way too many overdoses. We've got too big of a problem, but at least we're joining efforts to do something about it. At least we're working together to try to make a difference. And I've made some of the best buddies, some of the best friends that a person could ever have, and you know, it is my passion. But then it's my life, you know. I mean, 38 years ago, I was ready to hang it all up and take my own life because I didn't want to live the way I was living and didn't see any hope. But thank God somebody took a chance on me and gave me hope, and so I feel like that it's the only thing that I can do is to pass that on to somebody else.
absolutely, yep. And then, you know, we chose Logan area, you know, because obviously that's where Amber and Heather are. But for these two grants that we're working on, because we know of all of the generational poverty and the generational addiction issues and transportation and the lack of work and just all of those things. And it's the quintessential little West Virginia town that time forgot. So you know, if we can make these two big plans work in Logan, imagine what they can do elsewhere. You know, whereas there's access to healthcare, there's access to transportation, there's access to education, employment, and childcare, and all of those things. And if we can make it work there, you know, so you guys are an amazing little community. All right. Well, thank you again for what you do. Barb, when you were talking about, you know, Mountain Laurel, it made me think of a program we have here in Kentucky is our mission and low income housing has a dental clinic inside their mission area, their community services. But they also have vans that are equipped with dental equipment. So the van pulls up and they get all of their dental services within this van. So I sent you an email with contact information for them that if nothing else, maybe they have a you know, a similar program in West Virginia or a counterpart or something that you can contact and reach out and say, hey, how do I get something like this over here? So,
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for that. That's one of the things that we're going after. That's why we're going after the federal qualified. Uh, we have an outreach bus, but it doesn't meet everything that we want to do. Donna wants our CEO, Donna Cook. She wants a medical mobile bus that we can take into communities when people can't come to us. We can go to them, which we do have. One thing I failed to mention is we do have transportation. We have vans, we have buses, we have vans, we have cars that we try to help people get to appointments, not just with us. If they have other doctors' appointments, you know, we try to help them to meet those. We have a CES program that helps people with grocery shopping and trying to, you know, from food banks and those type of things. But Donna wants something that will actually go into the community to bring medical attention, medical care to people, and so it's one of the things that we're going after. But yeah, I thank you for the resource.
yeah. I mean, and, you know, do you guys have the RAM programs, the rural access to medicine programs? I mean, they have them over here and they're fantastic, but that is a jam-packed day of You know, you can get access to everything, but you gotta be there at like 3 o'clock in the morning to claim your spot.
Yeah.
So,
We've got have 5 nurse practitioners now as providers and a great nursing staff and everything. We got a lot of good components. Like I said, you can come and see your primary doctor. You can get your lab work. You can get your meds at pharmacy, and never have to go no place else. All in one thing. And Donna also is working toward. She wants a daycare. And when she first talked to us about it, I thought, yeah, that's great for our employees. But her thoughts on it is for so that a lot of grandparents are raising grandkids now, and people just have responsibilities that with kids that they can't make a doctor's appointment, and so she wants a daycare. So you bring your kids with you. They stay in the daycare while you see your doctor, get your lab work, get your dental care done, pick up your meds, and then you pick up your kids to go home. And I just think that's an amazing service that we're moving toward too. So, like I said, we're ever changing and growing.
I love that idea. Awesome. You guys are a great model. All right. Well, does anyone have anything else? Any questions for Barb or Chris or?
I think I'll definitely be reaching out to you, Barb.
Oh,
I've been looking for some outreach events, some outreach possibilities down in that area. And given you guys are doing so much, I'll definitely be sending you an email about maybe
my
coming and
chat.
doing some stuff.
My email's in the chat. Absolutely, we love networking, don't we, Chris?
Oh yeah.
And really networking is what it's all about. If it wasn't for the networking, I don't think we'd have what we got in Logan.
No.
Absolutely. Well, I'm
No.
gonna send both of you also an email about Amber's one of the trainers also, but myself and Tina Ramirez from Great Rivers, we are doing a whole bunch of trauma informed care and how it improves the criminal justice response. It's a free training. So it's just, it's how being situationally aware and working with people that are, previously incarcerated in recovery, how to work with them and not re-trigger them or so it's free. I'll send it to you guys if you're employers or anything, if you want to get one set up in Logan, just let me know and I'll come there and we'll do a day of training and like I said, it's free and maybe tutors will give us some lunch and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so awesome. Well, thank you for sharing everything and your positivity, Barb. I appreciate you and Chris, you guys are making a big difference there too.
Absolutely.
All right, well, I'll give you back some time in your day and some of y'all may see later this afternoon at the other meeting, so. All right, go enjoy sunshine outside.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
They almost made it.